Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my subscribers. Welcome to anyone who's new, who's here. My name is Jackie. This is going to be a general read for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Hope you guys are doing well. I believe we're getting into May, right? Crazy. I did already shuffle, but let me just grab whose ever energy I can. That's the whole reason why I do this, right? Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to be doing a horseshoe spread, and I'll pull some qualifiers as I see fit. Okay. Just going to lay my qualifiers out. Okay, Tower reverse at the end. Okay, but I like the Fool at the end. Okay. All right. Hope you guys are doing okay with this crazy energy. Crazy time we're in right now, guys. You know, as a collective, we're all being asked to take a look at what we don't need anymore, that we're desperately clinging on to. And really being made to look at why we're actually clinging on to it. And it's a weird time for sure. And the movement, the energy is super slow. So don't be frustrated with that, because Grandpa Uranus is up in the sky looking over us right now. Just picture like a really old dude up there moving at a snail's pace, trying to move this energy forward. But there's a reason for it. And we'll talk about that as we go along. Can you guys see these? I don't think you can even see them. What the heck? All right. Wait, maybe if I move these, if I move this down a little bit, I think that's a little better, right? Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Okay. All right, let's get right into this. Deep knowing. This is your Wisdom of the Oracle, crowning energy. Beautiful card. Okay. So this is the card of intuition, the ability to have empathy, and it indicates a time of hypersensitivity. You're just going to be feeling very up in your gigs right now, very in your emotions. This energy indicates that you have an ability to read between the lines and find out all the truth about something, a story that you were told, or some sort of situation that you were told about, and where you just felt like there was information missing, and you're just going to be able to read between the lines and figure it out, you know? This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom, you know, that's not available on the basic human level. You know, it's your intuition is so turned up right now. It's like information you're being given right now may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but it's 100% on point. So the trick here is to listen and then to act accordingly. But I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to be all bad. I don't, because, you know, we tend to go to a bad space, but I'm getting that feelings and hunches that many of you are going to be getting about people and situations, maybe even with work. Many good feelings are going to be happening for you right now. For many of you, this is going to play out in just knowing that a certain person is going to play a very meaningful role in your life. You know, like for some of you, someone crosses your path and suddenly out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to articulate. You know, it's more of like a connection of the souls kind of thing. And for some of you, someone is entering your life who is going to somehow be really instrumental on your journey. So pay attention. And for many of you, this can be you coming to the realization that someone that you were with in your past is absolutely who you're supposed to be with. So there's a lot of different energies, but it's this realization, okay? Just someone or something being very instrumental in your life. So this energy is indicating that your intuition that you're feeling about a person that you care about is correct. So trust your heart right now. The only caveat with this energy is that you do run the risk of mental and emotional exhaustion. You know, just keeping it real. So you want to make sure you exercise self-care and just say no thank you to people in your life who are just hell-bent on exhausting you and bringing you drama. You know, you really need to take care of yourself, because I do see you have a lot going on here. So let's get right into this. Your past energy is the Seven of Cups reverse. So this is Venus and Scorpio energy. This card means choices and confusion. And while the Seven brings potential for amazing opportunities, these options and offers are just not substantial just yet. It's like they're in the incubation phase. Like I've said before, I've said it a couple of times, I view the cups in this card to be almost like, you know, children, babies in utero, you know, where they're still in that stage of developing, right? That's why I always refer to this as like the incubation phase. But as your past energy, you were in a place of not being able to see clearly what was feasible and what was like fantasy in your head. You just didn't know what to trust. You had a very clear vision of what you wanted for yourself, but you weren't really sure what to trust. So the fact that it's reversed only tells me that extreme emotions were at play. So this was a time of you possibly idealizing a situation and avoiding a difficult truth. Sag, yeah. In relationships, this card can mean being deceived by appearances, or maybe you were misled by someone. This can indicate a lover maybe was unfaithful. This definitely not the right time for commitment, though, and a time for you to have avoided, hopefully you were able to avoid becoming very embroiled in some kind of drama. So, you know, going back to the deep knowing, like, you know, no drama today, please. Like, you stepping back until your options just become more clear to you, or became more clear to you, right? Because this was your recent past. So then coming into your present is the Ten of Swords reverse, okay? So this is a Mercury and Virgo energy that represents endings. So the traditional meaning of this card is ruin, okay? And while it looks really uncomfortable, it doesn't mean death or destruction. This does indicate, though, that whatever this thing is that's coming to an end, it has a significant history, because this ending with this card comes more as a natural outcome of a culmination of events that leads up to inevitable change. But this ending clears the way for new possibilities. So, you know, you may be finally releasing something that was just made no sense to keep in your life anymore, and that caused you more stress than anything else. So in this way, it's like the energy of endings and transition and new beginning. And it being reversed only means that you're feeling this even more deeply. So you're going to be looking at your past actions and your role in things, you know, like where you feel guilty maybe, or angry, or, you know, any of those emotions. And you're just going to react more deeply from the fallout of this. But the energy here is telling you to not hold on to that stress too tightly. You know, you just can't do that. You really do need to, you know, this is a time of radical acceptance. So, in other words, accept the situation, you know, and that you had to leave, and just accept it. Just accept it as something that happened, and not something that's going to define the rest of your path, you know. And this also can indicate you feeling during this time a sense of helplessness, especially for those of you who were feeling very overwhelmed emotionally. But this does indicate, you know, for you to kind of pick yourself up and start over. And I know that's so much easier to say than it is to do. Okay, and then we have this Five of Cups, Scorpion energy, as I pulled these two as qualifiers for this. So, of course, this indicates upset and loss, and it's sadness and confusion due to a breakup, it could be, or disappointment, or even an argument in a close friendship. For some of you, there might be a need to temporarily move away from a family member who was just really toxic and really hurt you. Yeah, so this card can also apply to leaving a job or home before you feel ready to do so. So the energy here, it's very forced. It's like you were forced to deal with whatever was thrown at you, you know, invited or not. And for some of you, this indicates a loss of status or money, which makes sense to me because, you know, if it was, let's just say, like a divorce, right? You go from married to single, and that definitely impacts your finances. So, you know, apply it as you see fit to your life if you're resonating with this. But the gift of this energy is that there's no mistaking what happened. There's no mistaking, and that you know that there's no going back. But all isn't lost here, because you are going to be able to move like onward and upward regardless of this. But these two remaining cups standing show the support of your friends and families and colleagues. And it also does show you still having emotion for the person that the situation surrounds. So yeah, because I am getting that many of you are in a space of revisiting the past, trying to assimilate the stresses from the past, you know, all the bullshit that happened, and try to somehow work it into your present, you know, like now, in an attempt to create a new start for yourself. Yeah. And then we have the Page of Cups reversed. So this indicates frustration, and there is an energy of irresponsibility around this, but certainly offers not materializing, which makes sense to me. So you're feeling like your life has become more about work than anything else right now, and that's kind of bumming you out. But this does indicate, hands down, a little explanation for me regarding this Ten of Swords reverse. You've been involved with somebody who is just really emotionally immature and attention-seeking. And everything was about their own needs, and this person could not be relied upon. Very defensive when challenged, and just not someone who... Now, I'm getting either you or this person, because this is the intoxication card. Like when this comes up, when Page of Cups comes up reversed, that shows too much partying. So I don't know if that became an issue in your relationship, but I am getting, Sag, that it could be you, that you might just be partying a lot and just drinking a lot just to deal with all of this nonsense, which, you know, okay, you know, I'm not judging at all, but this energy does indicate like you might want to calm it down a little bit to get back to an ordered routine. But I feel like this was an issue for this person as well, but in more of an irresponsible way. I'm just getting a very irresponsible vibe, and this was a really big issue for you guys, because I feel like the result of this ended up making them make some really stupid choices that you just could not live with, that no one in their right mind, I feel like, would be able to live with in a relationship. Okay. So that's what we have there. And then we have this Four of Swords. So this is your future energy, which is Jupiter and Libra. And I'm getting that many of you are going to be catching up on some much needed sleep. I'm getting a lot of you guys are really tired. You guys are going to be in a space of thinking and analyzing, though. I am getting almost like an obsession, though, about something. You're just going to be going over probably this situation over and over in your head. But, you know, like I say with this card, okay, it's like, really nice, kind Uncle Jupiter comes in and comes in to slow the wheel of fortune long enough to give this Libra energy a break from its usual worries and concerns. It's just like, okay, my child, take a little bit of a rest, you know? So this indicates to me that in your near future, you're going to be in a space of temporary reprieve from problems, taking a retreat for a period, you know, just to recover from some sort of emotional roller coaster that it seems like you are on. But I'm getting that on the other side of this, though, is, I know this sounds very dramatic, this word, but okay, I want to say new beginning, but I'm getting even bigger than new beginning. So I'm going to just say resurrection into a new life, because you really did put up a good, solid fight for this, whatever it was that you're leaving behind. So yeah, that's your future. I kind of like it. And then in your position of best course of action, we have the Queen of Pentacles energy, which I really like for you. Here, you know, just look at her. Like she's firmly planted in her beautiful garden, which is exactly where she needs to be in order to bloom. So this energy represents the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn, which makes her a very savvy businesswoman who can cultivate a wide range of resources for herself and those that she cares about. You know, she's a leader and a decision maker. She's earthy. She's authoritative. You know, she's disciplined and cautious, but she's not a stick in the mud, you know, at the same time. She's cool. Like, she knows how to do the right thing, but she has a really, you know, beautiful energy about her. She believes in values and structures of tradition, but she also has her own ideas about how things should go. So the main thing here, which is your advice for the best course of action, is being patient and taking the time to think right now. This is definitely not a time to compromise your values and your beliefs, okay? You have to be you right now. Now, this also rules the third decan of Sagittarius, you, my friends, and the first and second decan of Capricorn. So her primary domain is the 10th house of career and social status. So besides being patient right now and taking time to think, this energy encourages you to throw yourself in a healthy way into your career and really engage with your friends right now. You know, just be around people who you can trust and who you know have you know, who has your back, you know. And then here in the other people and how they affect you position, we have the Lovers reverse. So this is the Gemini card with the numerology link to the Devil. So what I'm getting here is, this is telling me of this relationship here going out of wacky balance, and this is the shadow side of both of your personalities becoming an issue. So I just feel like, you know, even though you're doing well on like a personal level, like you're still dealing with the ramifications of this like tempestuous kind of energy right now I'm getting. I mean, definitely, you know, on the most mundane level, it's a relationship in crisis. But you're going to be questioning your initial attraction to this person, you know, during all of this, like as your values, you know, the values that you guys initially wanted as a couple, you're going to view them as being like really corrupted right now. You're going to be in the space of being like, was I blind to this? Was I blind to that? You know, and there's definitely a quality of betrayal here and dishonesty. And this energy also indicates very strongly, especially reversed, is this lust and materialism and addiction to negative patterns. But honestly, Sag, this could be for one of you, just them, or both of you. So, yeah. So obviously these qualities are going to negatively affect you right now. I mean, you know, that's only natural. And quite frankly, I mean, everything we just discussed is the reality of many relationships when they end, right? I mean, it's hard. You know, you have fights, and then there's pain, and then you try to escape the pain in various ways until it becomes something that you can actually get a hold of. So don't beat yourself up if this is going on with you. But, yeah, I mean, this is just, I'm getting from this Ten of Swords reverse energy. Still very much in your energy field. Even if you're like actively moving past it, I feel like it's still in your energy field. So in the obstacle and fear position is the Strength reversed card, which is the card of Leo, right? This indicates your strength turning into a weakness of will, and you just feeling the need to just duck out of life for a little bit, you know, avoid risk, avoid any conflicts, avoid any decision making. Like, you're just so tired of thinking right now is what I'm getting. And this can refer to you ignoring your instincts altogether or allowing fear of conflict to stop you from taking any action. But this is the thing. This avoidance is going to hold you back from your personal growth. In this situation that you've been dealing with, you can only learn from the experience, Sagittarius. You know, this is the perfect example of what you resist persists. So take charge and take on the challenge of facing whatever it is. You just still might not be totally done with this person, but you need to address it so that you can fully heal from it and move forward. Because residue from these kind of situations grow thicker over time. It's so hard to get it off of us, right? You know, the longer we let these things fester on our soul, you know, things left unsaid and all, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, but this does indicate a time of overthinking. And sometimes the overthinking is more exhausting than just having the damn confrontation. You know what I mean? So try not to ignore it right now. Okay, so your final outcome energy is the Tower reversed, which is why I pulled some qualifiers. So yeah, the astrological planet associated with this is Mars, right? You know, which is the warrior planet. But, you know, this is also indicating like energy, assertiveness, and self-defense. So, you know, the Tower represents a stronghold built, right, to withstand the forces of time and nature. So this energy does indicate dramatic change. But I feel like it's a change in something that you really thought was stronger than it actually was, is why I felt compelled to explain what a tower is, you know, and why it's built. And yeah. So this can refer obviously to a breakup. That's how it's commonly referenced, but can also be the breakdown of something else, the disintegration or the collapse of any structure that you thought was stable, like a relationship or like a home life, or a career. You know, it symbolizes the destruction of false ideas and beliefs. You know, this can also indicate an intervention of some kind on some level. Yeah, so Sag, you know, some of you who may be struggling with some sort of addictions, I am getting, this is going to be very specific and obviously not for everyone, but that people close to you have organized some sort of intervention to help you. Yeah, that is for some of you. But for anyone who was trapped in a situation that they feel that they've outgrown, this is literally like a get out of jail free card. So, yeah, but ultimately this experience is one of protection and self-preservation, you know, as an old structure is torn down so that renovation can begin. So, you know, astrologically, Mars is associated with confidence and power. You know, it symbolizes sexuality, stamina, and strength. So the fact that it's reversed here says that you may be feeling all of these things, but it's like you're taking responsibility for this Tower moment when you believe yourself to be blameless. You know, it can also show that you've held on to a career or a project or a relationship that's just not strong enough to stand the test of time. And if you've been clinging to the past to protect yourself from reality, your fears may materialize at this point. So the thing is this, though. This collapse is inevitable. So don't feel responsible for forces outside of your control, because the impact is sudden and dramatic, but at least you're going to know exactly where you stand. So that's good, right? And then we have the two qualifiers here. Move this. With the Eight of Swords and then the Fool. So the Eight of Swords, yeah, you're feeling very restricted because of this Tower moment. But the thing is, you're really not. She's not really restricted. She can walk away, right? She can even wiggle around those swords, right? But swords are truth, swords are words, and you're just feeling very trapped behind the reality of something right now. But this, I'm getting, this is more perception that you're going to come to understand. You're going to realize the truth of this and how it really is serving your ultimate good, you know? But then you're entering this Fool energy, which is the card of Uranus, the planet of freedom, revolution, rebellion, and free thinking. It's the old grandpa up in the sky that's moving like a snail right now. So it's so cool that you got this, that you're, you know, as your ending card. But yeah, just very sudden and unexpected changes are going to be happening for you right now. This is the card of independence and originality and progression and new thinking and not being afraid. Because Uranus rules Aquarius, which is the sign of futuristic thinking in the 11th house, where we look at social groups and idealistic causes. So I'm getting you're going to be moving forward with a whole new set of values right now, Sag, based on what your experiences have taught you. So what an awesome ending for this time period, I'd say. I like it. This is going to be tough, but you're definitely moving into a great space. So I like that for you. Yeah, Sag, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am going to be posting this coming week. Because I've been getting an overwhelming amount of requests for no contact. What are they thinking? Spread. So if you are not going to be joining me for that, I will see you guys in the middle of May for the last 2 weeks of May. Thanks again for hanging out with me. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.